Thank you for joining us this evening for the official opening of the Robert H. Lee Graduate School space.
Bob Horn Lee's name will forever be connected to the Graduate School of Business at UBC, and it will also forever be connected to the university as a whole. Lee was born in Vancouver in 1933 in Chinatown. By the time he was in his teens, his father's business was prospering and the family moved to Shaughnessy. Bob was going to high school on the west side. His counselor told him his marks weren't good enough. In other words, forget university.
I said, no, I want to take university entrance subjects. So I changed, and that sort of changed my life. Because I wouldn't have gone to university and I wouldn't be here what I'm doing. Yeah.
What he did is extraordinary. After graduating from university, Mr. Lee went to work for his father, running the family business.
So I had authority to sign checks to everything in the family company when I was 24 years old.
Bob went on to run another of the family businesses, growing Kulite bamboo into the largest seller of bamboo drapes in Canada. Then a wage negotiation gone sideways changed the course of his life.
That was an opportune time for me to say, I want to leave, I want to go into a different business. So in 1959-60, I decided to go into real estate as a broker. It was a gamble.
Bob squeaked through 4 or 5 years of just making it. Then he got a break.
In 1967, when they had the Hong Kong riot, and all the wealthy people came here, and the bank referred to me all these wealthy clients. So it was a big break because I knew I can speak Chinese. So I thank my father for forcing me to go to Chinese school.
Over the next 14 years, Bob sold most of the major buildings in the Greater Vancouver area. He partnered with Bruno Wall and John Redekop to form what would become Wall Financial.
Most of the major projects in this town, if there was any doubt on how to finance it, they'd phone Bob Lee.
By the early 80s, he created his own company, Prospero Properties. He worked with most of the major developers in Vancouver, including Jack Poole.
I moved into Dayon Building, the new Dayon Building. That's where all the real estate people were.
Then came devastating high interest rates, forcing Bob to retreat and regroup.
I lost money, so my balance sheet was a deficit, but I had real estate, but still no cash flow.
Through perseverance and a conservative strategy, Bob returned to positive cash flow. It was then that he turned his attention to his alma mater.
I mean, here was a guy who looked at what was possible on the UBC Vancouver campus, thought to himself, you know, it's possible to imagine a community here, and who also figured out how you might do that without the university losing control over its land. That took real vision, and frankly, it also took some guts.
Yes, it did. That's because it didn't start off too well.
So in '89, went out for tender, no one tendered. So I said, and some of the developers phoned me and said, Bob, it's not going to work.
Well, there wasn't any tenders at all. And so Bob sat down with myself and Jim Houston, who were the other founding directors of the trust, and he said, you know, what's it worth? And we said, well, based on what's selling on the west side, it's at least $8 million. And he said, I'll go get it.
And get the money he did. Drawing on a network that he had developed over the course of his career, Bob brought in the first developer and, well, you know.
Was so successful that all the builders around there came in, bid on the second, third, fourth site. And to make a long story short, we created $81 million. I present a check to Martha Piper.
When it all started, Bob set a goal for himself of raising $1 billion for the school. He was almost laughed out of the boardroom when he first said that out loud. Now, at the time of the making of this video, that goal is within reach.
The financial contribution of his work and his foresight and judgment has been a huge contributor to the University of British Columbia and to Vancouver.
He always believed that he should give back to the community, so he's done that all from the time we were just newly married, just little bits at first and a little bit more, and now a little bit more like that.
I mean, although he's been incredibly successful in a business sense, and He's very much a community person, first and foremost. Family always came first, and we knew it.
Bob Lee has changed the face of Vancouver, UBC, and the province of British Columbia, and he ensured everyone was the winner.